at a later stage in the project. Let's take the next slide, which will give some information on that. So these are the various non-domain requirements, and by implementation across the phases, if you look at, so we have around the architecture phase constituting around 35% for addressing this particular requirements, and then we have the solution design taking almost 45%, and the coding alone contributes only 15%, and the QA and the QC are part of it, taking up the remaining 20%. So the predominant of the effort goes towards addressing these non-domain requirements are coming from the architecture and the solution design, which is where you kind of form the high-level design or the framework or the technical approach towards addressing the non-domain requirements. Now what happens when people try to mix up these things? It all goes as requirements, and then people try to solve these requirements as part of the regular functionality, which could be an employee management screen or a banking management screen, which means your developers are going to be ending up taking up these non-domain requirements and trying to address it as part of the regular requirements. So which is a major mismatch, because these non-domain requirements cannot be addressed in a coding phase. It can only be addressed at an architecture or a design phase, and cannot be addressed by a developer, but rather by an architect kind of a person. So why should I handle these non-domain requirements?